About a month or so ago, we drove the CT5 V Blackwing, and during that review, not only did I love the car, I concluded that it was probably going to be a collector's item soon. You're not going to see a car from Cadillac like that in the future. So it's definitely one I recommend if you're looking in that market and have the money for it. I think it'll be a great buy. Of course, the CT4 is the smaller brother of the CT5, and this, the CT4 V Blackwing, is yet another monster in Cadillac's stable. We're going to be checking it out in this video, comparing it a bit to the CT5 V Blackwing and some of its competition. So let's dive into it. So obviously you have the CT4, the CT4 V, and the CT4 V Blackwing at the top, and Cadillac dubs the CT4 V Blackwing its most powerful and fastest Cadillac ever, at least in the subcompact class, because the CT5 V Blackwing is actually the most powerful and fastest Cadillac ever. But of course, fastest doesn't always mean best. We'll talk more about that as we drive it. Let's take a look at this exterior design real quick. And first off, we do have the double carbon fiber package. We've got these nice carbon fiber lip spoiler with extra carbon fiber wings on the front. We have that blacked out grille with the Cadillac logo proudly up front. Along the side, we have 18-inch aluminum alloy wheels with satin graphite finish, paired with summer-only high-performance low-profile tires. Around back, you can see that huge carbon fiber spoiler. We have some nice exhaust back here. Obviously, the V logo and the CT4 badge. And a lot of aero bits all throughout this vehicle, which actually delivers the highest level of downforce ever produced by a Cadillac V-Series production car. And of course, we've got all the racing cred here, but this is a production sedan that you're going to want to live with every day as well. So we do have a little bit of cargo space in the trunk. You're talking about 10.7 cubic feet of cargo volume, which is decent for this class of car. And of course, if you're getting the CT4 or the CT4V, you have your own engine options there. But if you're getting the Blackwing, you have the one engine option here, which is a monster. This is the updated Cadillac 3.6 liter twin turbocharged V6 engine. It's rated at 472 horsepower, 445 foot-pounds of torque. And as a standard option, you get a 6-speed manual transmission. You can opt up to a 10-speed automatic. We have the manual here, which is what I would choose if I was buying this vehicle. But enough time looking at the exterior and the engine. Let's jump inside, take a look at the interior, the tech. We'll take it for a drive, and then I'll let you know what I think. All right, guys, let's quickly go over some of the interior here, as if you're going to buy this car, you really want to know how the interior feels and the different tech that you get in it. So let's go over it really quick, but I know what you're really waiting for is the drive. We'll get to that in just a second. So let's start off with these two-tone V bucket seats. Really nice, really great looking, really comfortable even for a larger guy like myself. I'm 6'1" and can fit in these things and comfortably just fine. They are heated seats and cooled seats, which is really great. And as you might be able to tell, they are super light, nice racing bucket seats. And you do get the Blackwing logo here in the stitching, which I think is really cool as well. Nice touch. Moving around with the interior, you get the two-tone look, as well as just a black with white stitching look. Everything is really nice. Materials are really good. Let's kick it on and check out that 8-inch touchscreen. It is a push-button start here. So like I said, this is the 8-inch infotainment screen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto capability. We also have a wireless charging pad right down here, so you can throw your phone and wirelessly charge it while wirelessly playing Apple CarPlay. You have physical buttons here for your AC and heat controls, and some physical buttons down here for different features like your heated and cooled seats. We do have the manual transmission here, so got nice throws, nice shifting. Put it into reverse, we do have a reverse camera. Now the CT5 I drove did have the automatic transmission. It's a 10-speed automatic quick shift, really nice. But if you're like me and most people that will buy this vehicle, you really appreciate that they offer this with the manual. You can also see the carbon fiber trimming here, as well as a rev match button, traction control button, and your mode button. A little tray here with your V logo, some cup holders, and a pretty decent armrest and cubby. Now this is the high performance steering wheel with carbon fiber accents. You've got the V logo with a serial number here. You've got the V button, which puts you right into V mode here. You also have the little twist dial here, which will set your performance traction, which you can see here in the digital information screen, along with our TAC front and center, and some more information that you can customize here on the side. We do have a head-up display, which can be controlled right here. This is a slot for a memory card. For Cadillac's data recorder, which is pretty cool, we had on the CT5 V Blackwing. I'll show you more about that as we drive. Electronic parking brake here. We do have an AKG premium audio system with 15 speakers, which is really nice. And of course, nice features like a sunroof, a suede headliner, which is nice. If you want to know about the back seats, I did have the kids 3 wide back here. They didn't love it, but it worked out just fine. So if you need to put kids in here to take them to school or whatever, it works. Not super recommended, but it works. All right, and with that, I think it's time to take the sucker for a drive. I'm no racetrack driver, but it's a little back course here that we'll have fun with. We've got the data recorder on. Which is always fun. All right, ready, set, go. Just a little bit of a taste of what this thing can do. We've got Brembo brakes, which are fantastic in here. Turn in, awesome power is, as you might expect, spot on. A little bit of a squiggle out there. Woo! Those brakes are good. So if you want to have fun in this thing, definitely you can do that. See if we can get a quick 0 to 60 time using our Cadillac recorder as well. Have to come out here, get a little bit of a straightaway. Record. 1, 2, 3, and go. Oh. Yeah, this thing is pretty beastly. You don't need that supercharged V8 to have fun. You can definitely have fun in this twin turbocharged V6. Smaller, lighter body, tighter. Brembo brakes on here. We've got the magnetic ride control. So if you want to take it out of sport mode and just cruise, no issues there either. It's a decent cruiser. It does have a rigid body, rigid chassis. Obviously you have the drive modes, the suspension modes that you can dial in, but even at the comfort mode, it's still pretty tough for day-to-day driving, but you're driving the V Blackwing, not just some Cadillac. As you saw, those high-performance Brembo brakes are really good in this thing. If you need to stop, it can stop, which is great for putting it out on the track and really pushing this thing hard. We have that enhanced electronic limited slip differential, which is optimized with each driving mode and really helps keep the power to the ground exactly where you need it. So it's definitely worth the harshness that you have the day-to-day to be able to get it on a track and let it perform the way that it does. And as far as day-to-day driving goes, seats are super comfortable, even these tighter bucket seats. And again, I'm a bigger guy, but I fit in them just fine. Everything in the interior is easy to touch, easy to use. Steering wheel, super nice, nice and beefy. Obviously, turning is immediate in here. The exhaust doesn't sound great. Definitely sounds better with that supercharged V8. This one's more of a drone, even when you put it into V mode, but that could be personal preference as well. We do have the performance recorder. This is the second gen of the performance recorder, and it's really cool to have, especially if you do take this out on the track and want to keep track of times and things like that. It's always great. It can also just be recording as a dash cam, just in case somebody hits you or you get in a wreck or something like that. You do have it recorded. You can check your recording straight from this, obviously not as you're driving though. You've got different settings for it, different overlays, or just getting the pure signal. All of that really cool. It is nice, of course, that we've got the head-up display, so you don't have to constantly be looking down at your gauge cluster. You can position your steering wheel where it's comfortable and not have to worry about really blocking anything, because everything that you want to see is up here in the head-up display. My only slight gripe there is that I sit high enough where it is still a little bit low, even if it's at the highest setting. I would like it if I could get it a little bit higher, but it's better than not having one at all for sure. Being back here in a bit of a windy backcountry road, again, the CT4 V Blackwing just handles itself really well. Suspension and chassis is a little stiff if you're hitting a lot of rough spots on the road, but taking these corners flat really makes up for it. The steering is just so precise, barely even have to move it to make some of these turns. You can definitely get going way too fast doing this too. Yeah, it just takes corners with such ease. And then you can just power right back out of them. So good. This does do just as well up on the highway as it does down on the city streets or in the back country roads. Let's jump up on the highway, get a little acceleration test going up the ramp, and check out some of the features there. getting up the ramp onto the highway, not an issue at all. You really do have a lot of power, and power in all bands of the gearing. There's often times where I go from first to second to fourth to sixth, or first to third to fifth. And if you're just in sixth gear and you really need to stomp on it, you can still hit that gas and get going. We can set our radar guided cruise control, be locked in to the vehicle in front of us. You do have a bit of a lane keeping system, but this is more for long trips on the highway, which would make this a GT car, but I don't think this is a GT car. This is a sports car, and there is a difference, obviously. If you're wanting a GT car that makes long road trips, there are better options. All in all, for a vehicle that you're going to drive to the track, race on the track, and then want to drive home, this is a pretty good mix of comfort and sportiness. If you're wanting it more comfortable, CT4. If you're wanting another grade of not quite as sporty, the CT4 V. But the Blackwing gives you probably the best of all worlds. With that, let's pull back over, jump out. We'll talk about the price of this thing, and I'll give you some of my final thoughts, and we'll wrap up the video there. All right, and let's quickly talk about the price. So the base you can get the CT4 V Blackwing is about $59,000 if you're able to find one at that price. This one has about $17,000 worth of options, which puts it just over $77,000. Again, if you could actually find one at that price. And for everything that you get here, I definitely think that's a good price for what we have. The CT5 V Blackwing that we reviewed was almost at $120,000, so this is definitely a bargain for as much fun as you get. I definitely think that the CT4 V Blackwing is a better track car. If you want to take this thing out on the track days, if you want to have fun out on a track, this is probably a little bit better, unless it's a track that really makes you stretch the vehicle's legs. But for day-to-day driving, day-to-day use, I actually like the CT5 V Blackwing a bit more. I like the usable power that it has with that supercharged V8. I like the fact that you get a little bit more space on the interior and the trunk. And again, I think it's just a better everyday car, but this is definitely a blast to drive, and probably actually fits more with the kind of style that I traditionally would like out of a sports sedan. So it's tough for me to choose which one I would actually really buy, but that's probably not even a conversation I need to have because I couldn't afford either one of them. With that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the CT4 V Blackwing. If you're into car reviews, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We drop a new review every week. Also, go check out TXGARAGE.com for more written reviews, as well as event and news coverage from a lot of different authors over there. And with that, thanks for watching.